Good morning, everyone. Welcome to What's Your Brew, episode number 4. I am your host, Talal Marik, and today we are joined by our esteemed guest, Mr. Asanka De Mel, the founder and CEO of LOVI Ceylon, who changed Sri Lanka's modern sarong into a fashion movement, bringing heritage and innovation. And today we are here to find out what is Mr. Asanka's brew. So, Mr. Asanka, it's a pleasure to have you with us here today.
Thanks for having me, Talal.
I have been going through all your innovations from the day you started and how you changed the whole idea of what a sarong means to Sri Lankans, to the movie you produced during COVID and the book that came out with it. And I always want to know what made you look at a sarong that was there within Sri Lanka in the past few decades and think this belongs in a fashion runway, this belongs in the Olympics?
Great question. Thank you for having me. It's very simple. We wanted to feel authentic. We wanted to feel recognized. We wanted to feel like we have value. And Sri Lankans, we have so many beautiful stories to share with the world. And I think the sarong and the national and this traditional clothing but made modern allows us to express our individuality as a group of people, our own pride about who we are, and give the confidence to build the kind of the country we want to build. And that was the kind of the belief and the vision. Our tagline was to essentially to define the modern Sri Lankan clothing identity, and we are on that mission.
How did you tailor luxury? Like, how do you tailor global luxury sensibility to Sri Lankan?
I think, the idea of luxury is very debatable. But one of the things, few things we can agree. One is that it should make you feel authentic. Whoever wears it feels great about wearing it. Recently I had an interview and then the journalist mentioned that penumata vada hangumata, which means more than how it looks, how it feels. I think that captures what LOVI is doing. We are making clothes that make you feel great, make you feel proud to be Sri Lankan, and that is what I think most important. And whether the rest of the world adopts it or not is actually quite irrelevant. It will adapt it because there's intrinsic value in it, and the point is for us to create that value, make everybody excited, make all the Sri Lankans excited to wear it, and the global community will recognize and come along for the ride. In another way to put it, we are not actually making clothes for the world, we are making world-class clothes for Sri Lankans, and because of that, the rest of the world wants to join in.
That's an amazing concept. How you do not focus on every 100 people, but the few that you need
one
that you have to focus on.
I'm focused on one.
As you have been going through your journey of creating LOVI Ceylon, what is, every founder has it, right? What is an emotional reaction that hit you when you saw someone wearing what you created during a journey?
It's awesome. These days we have a lot of grooms wearing LOVI. So when they're on their beautiful day of getting married, which is probably one of the most important days on a person's life, to be able to represent himself, to represent the upbringing, the culture, the values, and just to feel like nourished and recognized. It's an amazing feeling actually. And to also see like something that was on your sketch few weeks, few months ago, actually on somebody's porua, it's just blows your mind.
Blows your mind away.
Yeah.
And so from a sketch to...
Yeah, it gives you a lot of joy to see like something that you were dreaming about is actually people are wearing it,
So, okay, if LOVI was, let's say, a revolution we're trying to build, what would it be that you were trying to overthrow? Would it be like fast fashion, or would it be like mindset? Or are you trying to overthrow if LOVI was to be a revolution?
I would think the idea is that to establish and make it very clear, there is true value in being Sri Lankan, and there is nothing wrong about or nothing lacking about being Sri Lankan. I hear many times people saying ape minisu, this, that. I don't buy into any of this. There is no place in the world that Sri Lankan people here has not gone and flourished. So if that's the case, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with any of us. The question is like, what are the circumstances, the system or the incentives that we have to flourish here? So that idea I want to banish. And we have so much value, so much greatness, so much kindness, so much generosity, so much peace in this country. You can leave your car at the middle of golf face unlocked with a purse in the front seat. Nobody would even touch it. How many countries can you do that? How many countries can you send your kids without having to go through a metal detector? So, you know, we are so lucky, so many beautiful things are here, and we, you know, I'm so proud about it. And I want to share that story with the world.
I really love the positive perspective you have taken on looking into Sri Lanka, and which comes to my next question. You came up with a brand, LOVI Ceylon, and as you, from sketch to bringing it out there, when you did bring it out there, have you ever been told like this is not going to work in Sri Lanka, or this one really fit in the Sri Lankan norms, and how did you respond to that?
I think, you know, there's always doubt, even in your head there's doubt. One of the things about making any of these companies or any of this is you are taking, as an entrepreneur, your job is, when you start, on the I don't know. Every question is on the I don't know category. I don't know whether people will buy sarongs. I don't know whether people will wear sarongs. How much would they pay for sarong? What color would? All these are unknown. Your job as entrepreneur is to as quickly make it to the known category. So I spend almost no time on negativity or gossip or all of those things. Some things, you know, so you have your mission, just stay focused on your mission.
So there was a lot of self-trust involved.
It's not self-trust, it's a process. Entrepreneurial, that's why you can even learn it or somebody can teach it. It's a process. So, you know, just work, be honest to it, put honest work. I'll bring up one of my, you know, almost something I live by is this quote from Bill Gates that says, people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and severely underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Right. So if you want everything to happen in 1 year, it's not possible. You can have 6 months of bad rain and then all of a sudden you are out of luck. You know, but if you take a longer term point of view, anybody who wants to, you know, I think you will have a lot of entrepreneurs watching this. My advice is always take a long term. Think about any ideas. As an entrepreneur, you have many ideas. Any idea you take it for, extend it for 10 years. See how far you can get in 10 years in that idea. And see if you're still excited to do it. Is it big enough for you to invest your time, 10 years of your life to it? And if it is not, then write down everything you learned and move on to the next idea. But if it is there, then you owe it to yourself to explore. Take 1 year and explore to see how far you can take that in 10 years.
It's an amazing piece.
And you don't have to quit your job or do anything. Just do it at night. Go to school, work at night. Go to your job, do it at night.
Making the best of both worlds, basically.
You need income to live. So, and you need the income to also experiment in your idea, right? So, no reason to you can do a lot of groundwork. I mean, if you want to really start a company, you should talk to 50 people who are doing that similar company. Write down everything. Talk to maybe 25 of your, what do you think will be your potential clients going to be. You learn so much when you're doing that. And don't be shy, it's okay. Even if you're shy, just tell yourself not to be shy, or find somebody else who's not shy and go talk to.
Some people are afraid of asking the wrong questions because they feel that they'll be judged based on it, right?
Yeah, but it's okay, who cares? You're starting a company, who cares?
That's a risk anyway.
That's the least of your worries, I promise you.
Oh, I know.
If you get success, that'll be the least of your worry. You'll have much bigger problems to solve.
Understandable.
And also, I think one of the, I remember, this is from Kevin Systrom, who was the founder of Instagram. Like if you are starting a company and you have done some homework to see this potential, it's always good to find one or two co-founders with you. So because most of us don't have the total skill set to start a company. Some might be good in product but not in sales. Some might be good in sales, not in product or operations or management. So it's not a bad idea to have at least one co-founder or maybe two co-founders, and it will help you to manage the stress and the complexity and wanting to even give up many times, because entrepreneurship or building any of these things is, many people see the outside of it, but it is, fairly hard, especially getting it off the ground and then even scaling, very, very hard. So having a co-founder, somebody who have a vision to kind of balance that, kind of bounce those ideas, is a very helpful, useful thing.
Asanka, recently, you wrote a speech regarding Sri Lanka 2048. When you imagine yourself as someone who's trying to create a change or strive to create a change in Sri Lanka, what would be a message that you would give for the upcoming generation?
Well, let's take it a step before. I wrote a book called A Speech to Sri Lanka in 2048. This is essentially a vision of Sri Lanka as a developed country by 2048, which is the 100th year anniversary of Sri Lanka's independence from 1948. So all my life I've been hearing about us being a developing country. So I want to know when we get to actually being a developed country. And here I define the being developed as roughly a 40,000 per capita GDP. So imagine yourself 10 times richer. So for all of the young people out there, I want you to dream and tell me, write to me or message me saying, what does it feel to be 10 times richer?
So you said a speech to Sri Lanka from 2048. I wrote this book to find you who will go on to build an economically developed rich Sri Lanka, you who will go on to fulfill the Sri Lankan dream. I wrote this to bring all of you with a raging fire in your hearts together, to tell you that you are not alone, to tell you you are not mad to believe you can do this, to be crutch for your inevitable fails and to clap for your eventual wins, to give you a clear roadmap for how this can work. Let's get started. Our children's future depends on it. Welcome to fellowship.
That's right. So, because the country will get developed not because of government or this. You have people building great companies, giving great jobs to people. That's how America is not great, because the government is but there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of great companies creating great value, great lifestyle for people, great jobs for people. So if you want to see Sri Lanka as a developed country, we need 100,000 people to go start companies that would eventually become at least 10 million in revenues. Then we'll be a rich country. So I wrote this book to find those 100,000 people and say, let's get started. So if you are one of them, please reach out May I say the URL for the book? It's srilanka2048.org. Come there, get connected. There's lots of people already. You have a support system. You're not crazy. Get started.
So remember guys, A Speech to Sri Lanka 2048, written by Asanka De Mel. There's also a movie that's been produced by Asanka De Mel regarding the same story. If you feel like you'd want to be part of the movement, the URL has been given. So Asanka, now that we're coming towards the latter stage of this, we all know your success stories and we know how you came through obstacle by obstacle and your trajectory on change in Sri Lanka and how it is from today onwards. What is your personal brew when it comes to creating solitude, or like, is it like when things get chaotic for you, what's your go-to?
Yeah, anchors. I mean, generally I wake up early and I write and I draw, sketch, all of that relatively early in the morning. I have 2 young kids, so that's the only silent time. You usually have 2 young boys also, so between roughly 4 o'clock to about 6 o'clock I have some peace in the morning. It's a good time to get some coffee and tea, and just write and thought. I'm very, very slow actually. Many people might not think this. It would take me, probably a good days if I wrote 1 good sentence or 2. If I wrote a paragraph, that would be very good. It takes that much time.
Is it because of how in depth you go into things?
No, because I want that sentence to be perfect, as good as it can be.
As good as it can be.
Yeah. So even though this is actually a very small book, and I purposefully wrote it so that you can essentially read this book in one sitting. In about 60 to 90 minutes, you can read it cover to cover. But there's a lot. There's 24 years of what happened in Sri Lanka between 2025 to 2048 is there. And how we got there is in there. All the things we need to do and not need to do is also there. So it's pretty dense, but it's written so that requires some crafting. But I'm not in a hurry to do anything. Generally that's why I like to look at 10-year kind of things, so that way I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere. I have time.
That's amazing, Asanka, and I want to say it has been a pleasure having this conversation with you. Founder of LOVI Ceylon, Mr. Asanka De Mel. Please go look into the book, Sri Lanka 2048. Watch the movie if you can, and if you feel like you belong to this movement, you know whom to reach out to. Thank you very much, Mr. Asanka De Mel, for being here with us. It's been a pleasure. That's it for episode 4, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned in for episode 5. See you soon.